I wanted to really understand the simple, clear, concise definition of confidence because sometimes people use the word confidence and courage interchangeably, and they are not the same. Changing my lifestyle saved my life when I was contemplating taking my life. That is like facts, no cap at all.
This is another episode of the Truly Show. And yeah, so I'm Truly, and it's another episode. I have a guest today, and she can introduce herself. And then, fun fact, we met recently at a conference. So you meet new people, you know what I'm saying? And you have like interests, or you want to network, take action, and book the interview. I should go ahead.
Absolutely, book it. But yeah, thank you so much for inviting me to be on your platform and just to share with your community. I don't take it lightly when anyone entrusts their community of people that they have been nurturing and cultivating and letting a person that they just met just a few days ago to come on and share. So I really want to thank you for allowing me to be here. And my name is Dr. Jamie, and I am best known as the lifestyle pharmacist. And as the lifestyle pharmacist, I help executives and small to mid-sized business owners, specifically the founders of those types of businesses, to make over their lifestyle so that they are not rich in their bank accounts, because we are getting to that bag, right? Whether it's our corporate bag or our business bag, so that they are not rich in their bank accounts, but bankrupt in their health. And the reason why I do this work and the reason why I'm so passionate and open to sharing around this topic is because literally changing my lifestyle saved my life when I was contemplating taking my life. So that is my real true story. And that is what has brought me to the point of doing interviews and writing books and being on podcasts and just doing a variety of things to amplify that message and just to have a greater impact and share that with people around the globe. So that's who I am.
Boom. That was an excellent introduction. And
My name is Dr. Jamie Hardy, but you can call me Dr. Jamie.
Dr. Jamie, so before we dig into the details, how can they contact you?
So I am all across these social media streets. I made it really simple. Everything is my name. So my handle on all platforms. I play most often. I'm most active and engaged on LinkedIn and Instagram, but my handle is Dr. Jamie Hardy everywhere. And then my website is drjamiehardy.com.
Cool. So I love having these talks with people because as a confident coach, and I meet people, of course, we all have our own degree or level of confidence. But the more I get involved in my craft and learn new things, I'm realizing it has to be a daily exercise. So I want to start it off by asking you, can you share a time when your confidence played a key role in a business decision or a career breakthrough?
Oh my gosh. All right. So, one thing about me, I like to prepare. She is prepared, right? So, as I was preparing to be here today, I really was taking some time to think about confidence and just how confidence has assisted me or guided me as I was on a variety of journeys. My journey in education, becoming a pharmacist, my journey in entrepreneurship, my journey in working in the corporate healthcare space and climbing that ladder. And confidence has been there. And the reason why and the way that confidence has been there for me consistently is because I prepare. So I did a little research, and I wanted to really understand the simple, clear, concise definition of confidence because sometimes people use the word confidence and courage interchangeably, and they are not the same. So, since we're speaking about confidence, I want us to be very clear on what confidence is really defined as. And so, confidence is defined as the feeling of having little doubt about yourself and your abilities. And so that got me to thinking about when have I been the most confident in my business? When have I been the most confident even in my career? And it's because preparation has been the key. I said that I prepared for this interview today. When I decided that I wanted to pursue a career path in the health sciences, even as a teenager in high school, I had to prepare, I had to study, I had to develop those study skills. And so, honestly, I don't just show up and wing it in any aspect of my life. this interview, when I go to conferences, when I speak, I'm always doing some advanced preparation. And it's that preparation that allows me to feel the most confident because I have little doubt about myself. I know the talking points, I know the statistics, I know the audience that I'm going to speak to. I am prepared to speak to those things. Even in business, I can think about, okay, so you're wanting to transition from just working corporate healthcare and having this bigger impact by sharing your story. Well, guess what I had to do? I had to prepare for that. I didn't learn how to be an entrepreneur in college or in pharmacy school. So what did I have to do? I hired a business coach. I hired a speaking coach. Even now, I'm being coached on sales. I am always making investments in my preparation, and my confidence is a byproduct of that preparation. So that has been the thing that has anchored me throughout all of the twists and turns and directions that my life has taken. So my confidence is built on my level of preparation because when I'm prepared, I can just flow. I can be in my zone of genius. I can be vulnerable. I can be authentic. I can be all the things. I can let the guard down and speak and reach people because I have prepared for the moment. I have prepared.
That's so awesome. One of the things that I appreciate about doing something that I'm passionate about is having the foundation that makes me most comfortable. And, you know, my campaign isn't really the prepared route. It's more of the strategy route, which is so
Okay.
unique because identifying with how passionate you are, I feel that same way about clothes. And a lot of my decisions that I've made about what I'm going to wear, well, you know what? I take that back. Let me come correct. This is very true. So it's that, and okay, so I choose to be prepared in circumstances, but I also choose to be spontaneous. And so, you know, when you saw me, I've spent probably weeks thinking about what I was going to wear for a 3-day event. And I kind of would catch myself say, man, bro, you kind of overboard with this. It's just an outfit. But then it's just like, nah, bro, I kind of want to have this thing thought through. And I would have you to know, when I've been the most careful about what I chose to wear, opportunities kind of shifted. One could say I kind of called it, but at the same time, I think the fact that I was prepared put me in that space for things to happen in my favor. I remember deciding what I was going to wear for Revolt World, and I think that might have been a 3-day event as well. And this particular day, they had the fashion show, but it was like a street fashion show. So
Ooh.
I'm literally like, I've already met people by this time, but I'm walking. And the funny part about it, I did interviews earlier that day for one of my businesses. And the fact that I did that then, when they saw me again, they were like, man, listen, you should hop in the fashion show.
You should be in the show. Yes,
And I'm walking.
definitely.
So mind you, the fashion show was like right here is people. And so now I'm okay, well, how do I sign up? And then I have you to know I was the last person to walk, the second last person to walk at the fashion show. So it just
Wow.
speaks to being prepared. And what I was wearing was fly, but this particular tracksuit was a custom piece. So to me, that was even more dope because it got that exposure, whereas my other garments, I kind of wear the most.
Yeah.
So even with this curveball of the past event, Black Women Sell Live, this was the first event where I literally played out the 3 separate looks. It's kind of fun too, because some people, you know, recognize this one garment as 3 separate outfits, which was what I was expecting, but I wasn't really sure it would come across that way. And
Yeah.
so that's so dope that your competence is in preparation. So with that being said, I kind of want to speak on some things that I didn't know. So
Okay.
when I heard you present yourself to us in the room, you
Yeah.
mentioned you were a lifestyle pharmacist.
Yes.
And I was like, bro, like, I ain't never heard that. I know I because
Yeah.
at first, like I was doing strategist. I was doing like mindset coach, you know what I'm saying? But you're a real pharmacist.
I'm a
So
pharmacist by training for sure. Yes, that's what I went to school for.
so I'm just curious, what gave you the, because it can be seen 2 ways. You could have saw someone in pharmacy say, hey, I want to do this, or you could have an experience that brought you to the area of pharmacy. So which one of those was it for you?
So it was definitely a personal experience. And I am the lifestyle pharmacist. Lifestyle pharmacy and even lifestyle medicine is starting to gain in popularity. But
Mm-hmm.
I own the federal trademark for the lifestyle pharmacist, and I have had it since 2016. So I created a lane all of my own. And so, people are coming into the fold now, and it's all good because I need more people to help spread these messages, but not using my intellectual property or my branding or my likeness,
Right.
but the concept, for sure. But what led me down this path to become the lifestyle pharmacist was a personal experience that I had. And when I shared in my intro today that changing my lifestyle saved my life when I was contemplating taking my life, that is like facts, no cap at all. There was a time when I was really struggling in my life outside of work. So I had gone, I had done the things that mama tells you to do: go to school, get a good job, and be able to take care of yourself because you'll make a good living, right? And so I had done that, and I had rewarded myself, and I had bought my first home, and I had bought a car, and I was doing all the things that society would define as, oh girl, you making your mama proud, you made it, that. But outside of work and my professional accolades, I was wearing a mask. I was going through a very dark, troubling time in my life outside of work. So not Jamie the pharmacist, but Jamie the person, Jamie the woman. And I honestly was so low at one point and feeling so helpless and in such despair and in pain emotionally, mentally, that I thought about taking my life seriously. And because I have gone to school and I know the science of medications and what combinations of things or what lethal doses of things are, I learned that. So there was a time when I was really contemplating, and no one knew that I was having these thoughts. Not my best friends, not my mama, not, the person I was dating at the time. No one knew. I was showing up every day, excelling at work, wearing a mask. And I honestly had pulled away from my family and my friends because they would have figured out that something was off. So
Yeah, on your mind.
I withdrew from them. But the people at work, as long as I'm taking care of the patients and nobody's upset and the nurses and the physicians are happy, it's all good.
Yeah, I never know.
They don't know I got the coat on. She's beat with the jacket, the long white coat. It's good. It's gravy. But I was wearing this mask. And of course, in traditional medication or medical treatments, there usually involves a prescription medication. So I finally was honest with my physician because I was still going to the doctor annually. I was going and getting my yearly physical. And even in my physical with my doctor, I aced it. My labs looked good. She had no idea that I was thinking about taking my life because I knew how to ace the physical. I knew what to say. I knew how to act. I knew how to present myself. I had prepared, So she didn't know. But I had a moment where I said, you know what? I know what's happening when I go home. I know the thoughts that I'm having. And I am concerned that these thoughts may actually materialize into action. So this is after I left the appointment. I called the office back and asked to speak to my doctor. And she was like, that's odd. Okay, she just left, but okay. So the message got to her and she called me back and she was like, what's going on? And I said, you know what, there's something that I haven't told you. And she said, what? I said, I've not been able to sleep. I've not been eating, I can't stop crying, And she was like, have you thought about harming yourself? And in that moment, I could have lied. I could have said, oh, no,
Yeah.
Something's just going on, but I just wanted you to know. I just wanted to, because we didn't talk about it. But I said yes. And she was the only person that asked me that specific question. Had she not asked me that question, I probably wouldn't have volunteered and said, hey, doc, I'm having suicidal thoughts. But she asked me the question and I said yes. And so along that journey, I couldn't tolerate the regimen that we had agreed that I would try. And so I was like, doc, this is not working. I'm having side effects. I'm, all the things, adding this medicine to counteract the side effects of the main medicine. And it was just building more and more medications. And I wasn't starting to feel better and get back to myself. So what I did on accident was I started going to the gym with one of my coworkers. She had gotten a free pass.
Right.
She was new to the area and was like, hey, I got a pass to the gym. I don't want to go by myself. Will you come? Because when you join most gyms, they allow you to bring a guest for a trial period. Because yeah, it'd be
Right.
great if you join the gym, and then if you bring a friend or family member and they join too, you get a 2-for-1. Well, what happened was when I got in the environment in the gym and I was around other people that were exercising, they were talking about foods that they were eating, how they were changing their lifestyle, how they were meditating, how they were doing all these more holistic things. I started doing it too on my own. And guess what?
Right.
That is when I started to feel like my old self again, but honestly, better than my old self. And that is the moment when I became the lifestyle pharmacist, because changing my lifestyle, adding these more holistic, wellness based, whole mind, body, spirit principles to my daily lifestyle helped me to start eating again. My appetite came back. You know, my mood stabilized. I started looking like my old self. I gained a few pounds back because I had lost weight because I really wasn't eating as much. And that changed my life. And so that's when I said, you know what? You cannot continue to just sit on this message. You cannot continue to hide from what you went through. There could be somebody that's going through the same thing right now that you may be able to impact or touch or reach
Right.
if you just say, this happened to me. And so that's when I became the lifestyle pharmacist.